Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who caught his wife having sex with her best friend in their home. Let's see how it goes. My wife Kelly, 29, and I, James, 30, have been together for 7 years, married for almost 2 years. We met just after Kelly graduated college and I had just gotten out of the Navy. I enlisted at 17 and served until I was 23. We clicked right away, and she had been my best friend for all of these years. However, Kelly has a childhood best friend, Connor, 29. Connor and Kelly are practically siblings between how close they are and the fact that they've known each other since kindergarten. Despite their reassurance that the relationship has always been strictly platonic, I've always been a bit hesitant. That said, I've always done my best to trust and respect my wife alongside her friendships, particularly this friendship. Connor and his wife are going through a divorce. I'm not 100% sure of the reasons, but as of late, I suspect there's infidelity on his side involved. That said, he had been staying with us while he was going through his divorce. Kelly didn't exactly consult me about this decision, but I didn't bish too much because I figured it would be temporary. Even though I was trying to keep my complaints to myself, I have to admit I was irritated with my gaming space being taken over. It's set up in the guest room. Naturally, Connor's been quite upset by this whole ordeal, even though I suspect he's more at fault than his soon-to-be ex, and Kelly, my wife, his best friend, had been consoling him. This often included physical contact, hugs, sharing a blanket on the couch, etc. They've always been like this, and I would be lying if I said it never made me uncomfortable. I have close friends of both genders, but I would never think to cuddle up on the couch under a blanket with one of them, especially in front of one of our partners. That said, Kelly and Connor continued their friendship the way it's always been. I had trusted them all these years because they somehow made me feel confident in doing so. I was evidently very wrong to believe that they were truly platonic. I came home from work a bit early yesterday and I couldn't find anyone, despite both cars being in the driveway. Well, as I was heading upstairs to change out of my work clothes, I heard a lot of noise. When I got upstairs, what did I see? Door wide open. These two, practically brother and sister friends, were going at it in my guest bedroom like rabbits. I walked in the room fuming. I grabbed Connor off of my wife, and it took every ounce of self-restraint I had to not beat the shit out of him right then and there. Obviously, Kelly was stunned. Stunned that I was home, that I witnessed this, that I was gripping a very naked Connor's forearm, furious. I told them both to get dressed and get the F out of my house. They did. Where they went, I don't care. I'm still furious. I will never not be furious. I'll be contacting a lawyer first thing in the morning. Update. I've reached out to a divorce lawyer. I will most likely be able to keep my home, seeing as I purchased it prior to marriage. Kelly has been reaching out. I'm ignoring her. I don't care what she has to say for herself. I have no intention of speaking to her without a lawyer present ever again. She and the lover boy apparently aren't on speaking terms according to her friend, and she's been crashing on her sister's sofa for the past couple of days. According to her friend, Kelly has been distraught by the fact that I'm ending things this way with her. Next week, she'll be served papers. I just hope she signs them quickly so I can move the F on with my life. Thank God we have no kids together. I couldn't imagine trying to co-parent with that bish. I'm sorry your marriage ended this way, OP. You must have felt betrayed by your STBXW and her best friend. You trusted them, and they both made you regret ever trusting them. They were way too close. Cuddling together under a blanket while you were at home is just plain wrong. I can't believe they both decided to go at it in your own home. It's like they were begging to get caught. Either way, I believe divorcing your wife is the best thing you can do right now. There's no saving this. You did not end it. Your wife did when she cheated on you with her best friend and she told you not to worry about it. Story 2. A couple days ago, me, 20 male, and my girlfriend, 20, were just talking about previous relationships because ours were somewhat similar, so I thought. She then just says that she cheated on her boyfriend of several years when she was 17 with a 24-year-old man who had a wife. I know that the relationship she had with her ex was pretty rocky and wasn't a good one. However, I've always been a firm believer of once a cheater, always a cheater, so I don't see that as any kind of excuse. I'm not sure why it upsets me, but all I can think about is, can I trust her now? We have gone through some rough patches, so what would stop her from doing that to me? It also blows my mind that she was the kind of person to not only cheat, but have sex with someone who is 7 years older as a minor. When I was in high school, I always talked shit about girls who slept with guys way older than them, so this is pretty damn ironic. We started talking right after she turned 18, so this happened right before that. Now, whenever I see her, I just think about if she's done it to me. What else she could be hiding if she waited 2.5 years. And the picture of an older dude banging my girlfriend. Earlier today, I sat her down and tried to talk about how I felt about it. I only said how I wish she would have been more honest and upfront about it earlier in our relationship, because now I don't know if the same level of trust is there. I also said that I didn't think she was even capable of doing something like that. She's been cheated on multiple times and always says cheaters are horrible. I don't know if I said things the wrong way, but she got really upset. She kept saying that I was being rude and degrading her. Then locked me out of our bedroom saying I'm sleeping on the couch. I honestly didn't think I was being rude at all. Just stating how the fact that she's cheated before and slept with someone so much older at such a young age at the same time makes me feel this way. I'm really just curious if anyone reading this has gone through something similar. We have a great relationship, and I've been saving up for an engagement ring. But now that I can't stop thinking about all of this, I don't know what to do anymore. I want to be with her, but now when I look at her, that's all I think about. Edit. I just want to say I'm grateful for everyone's advice coming from all sides. I've had a lot of anxiety with all this in my head and no one to talk to. It makes me happy there's good people on Reddit. OP, you are both incredibly young. You're saving up for an engagement ring at this age? The way she reacted to what you said is a clear indicator of her maturity level. She could have sat down with you and reassured you that she would never do anything like this to you, and explained her reasons for what she did, but she didn't. She did this less than 3 years ago, not say 10 years ago, when she really could have grown from her actions. That's really not that far in the past, and I would be incredibly concerned if I were you. Now for some comments. I had a girlfriend just like that when I was 19. She told me that she had cheated on a boyfriend when she was 17 with a 30-year-old military. I trust her, and we went ahead with our relationship. Like 2 years later, she cheated on me with the same guy. That broke me. Took 2 years of my life to get through that depression. Not trying to influence you, it's just my story. Good luck, OP. For me, that's the biggest red flag, but just by my experience. Red flag how she won't discuss it. Your feelings towards this are valid, and the fact that she doesn't want to have a potential hard conversation shows a lack of maturity. It seems all you want is to know where her stance on cheating is for your own mental security. She hasn't tried to think about it from your perspective. Until this is addressed like adults with a conversation, I would not be continuing this relationship, nor buying engagement rings. Good luck, my friend. Is it possible for a cheater to change their ways? Yes, absolutely. Cheating means you're a shitty person, not you're a shitty person forever. Obviously, turning something around means acknowledging how effed up of a thing you did and working to correct it. So you were genuinely concerned and tried to talk to her about she responded in kind by getting upset and locking you out? I don't know. I personally wouldn't take that as a good sign. Until this can be cleared up, I suggest not proposing to her. Story 3. I pulled the whole "I know what you did, please don't deny it" move on my girlfriend in hopes that she would tell me a small secret I didn't know about her. I told her I had evidence on my phone and that she should just tell me the truth now. It turns out she cheated on me a week into our relationship. We are in our 3rd year of dating and our 1st year of being engaged. I don't know what to do since A, I did provoke this by lying to her with fake evidence. B, she did do this before we were actually in love. C, we both love each other a lot now. Any tips? Last update. She's calmed down now, and we're rationally talking about it. She says if she could, she would have married me from the moment she met me. She also says she's effing terrified of leaving me because she's never felt this loved before. I also had her cook me some breakfast because, well, I don't know, I got hungry. I'm leaning towards letting it go and just pushing forward and moving on. Final update. I have decided, for the best, that I'll just learn to move on. Is it going to hurt? Sure. Will I be more cautious and talk more with my fiancé so that this won't happen again? Of course. Fact of the matter is, a cheater won't always be a cheater. As one of you mentioned already, how can we expect drug addicts or killers to change if we don't let them prove themselves? It's a tough bet that I'm willing to risk it because I love her. As for any compromises, I told her to get rid of all social media that can interfere with our relationship. If her ex still tries to barge in, I will personally handle it with the help of the authorities. Lastly, I want to thank each and every single one of you. You all have no idea how helpful you've been, and it's 90% thanks to you that I overcame this huge pain in my chest. I'm sorry if this has happened to you, or if you feel like this is happening. My best piece of advice are from the wise words of Ralph Waldo. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters of what lies within us. Now for some comments. I pulled the same "I know something is wrong" early in my relationship and sadly found out something similar. That definitely was not a fun game to play. 2 years later and we have a great relationship and my trust is 99.99% there. Wishing all the best for you. I agree with everyone here saying you should drop it and move on, for the same reasons people have already given. I agree with everyone here saying you should drop it and move on for the same reasons people have already given. However, I would like to point out that the whole "I know what you did, please don't deny it" move, as you put it, was pretty shitty to begin with. Either you trust your SO or you have proof that she did something wrong. But tricking her into confessing something by lying is definitely not okay in my opinion. You've chosen to move on. Good, that's the right thing to do. However, I see that you're saying it's going to hurt, and you'll be cautious to not let it happen again, and have already given her instructions for how she changed going forward. Please take a deep breath and step back from things for a moment. You are overreacting, which is understandable. But if you don't process these feelings healthily going forward, you're going to do some real damage to this relationship. Anything she might have owed you by doing what she did has been paid back plenty in the intervening time when you guys actually fell in love. Get a grip and be happy.